In today's video, let's talk more about food preservation and the differences between a dehydrator and a freeze dryer and why I've invested in a freeze dryer from Harvest Right. So as you know, food prices are absolutely insane. So when you find something that's on sale or something that's in season, you go to a farmer's market and you're getting a discount, it's nice to be able to preserve that food so that you can consume it later, or if an emergency happens, or for my application, if I'm out hiking or I'm in the backcountry, especially with my daughter, we bring our dogs back there, I like to be able to consume real food when I'm doing activities. And so preserving food is a big part of that. Now, up to now, I've relied upon dehydration. Dehydration is great, but you do lose some nutritional value there. And it's hard to dehydrate fat, and the shelf life of dehydrated food is not nearly as long as freeze-dried food, which is why I invested in the Harvest Right freeze dryer. This thing is amazing. It's a beast. It does way more than I'm capable of even using at this point in time. But when you freeze dry food, especially protein, you don't lose any of the nutritional value. And so that's why I think it's a great investment. It's a really, this thing is built like a tank. It took me a long time reading the instruction manual, figuring it out. And in another video, I'm going to share with you my go-to meal that's freeze dried so that you can do this at home as well, should you decide to invest in this. But if you garden, if you shop at farmers markets, if you buy meat in bulk from, say, a rancher, or you're a hunter, or you're an athlete and you spend time in the backcountry, investing either in a dehydrator as to start and then eventually a freeze dryer, I think is the way to go, my friends, because these are just some of the meals that I've made in the freeze dryer. And what's unique here is this can be preserved in the fridge or on the shelf for like years. So you can do fruit, you can do herbs, you can make soups with the freeze dryer. That's, I think, one of the most important aspects of this, because it's hard to do this in the dehydrator, almost impossible to make soups in the dehydrator that can be repurposed, reheated. And also, we have backyard chickens. So sometimes in the summer, they're laying so many eggs, more so than the supply demand is a little skewed. I can't even keep up with it. But in the freeze dryer, you can preserve things like eggs and much more. So let me just kind of share with you what makes the Harvest Right freeze dryer and why I chose that, what makes this so unique. Number one is it has an oil compressor here. Basically what happens is this gets very cool and then it sucks the moisture out. So essentially you're freezing it and then you're sucking the moisture out. On the left side here, there's a little bucket, and that bucket collects the water that's actually removed from the food. And it creates pressure too. This thing is like almost like a hyperbaric oxygen tank, in the sense that when you close it and you cinch it down like this, it literally forms a seal here so tight that with the use of this compressor here, it creates so much pressure and it's frozen, and then the pump sucks out the moisture. So you have the food, all the nutrients are preserved, the polyphenols, the microbiome, it doesn't remove bacteria entirely. It sucks out the moisture, which preserves the food. And I think that's unique because it does it under frozen conditions in comparison to, and look, I love the dehydrator for making cookies, for doing things around the house, things like that. Dehydrator is great, but the freeze drying preserves all of the nutrition, which is why I like it and why we decided in our family to invest in this, because when food's available and plentiful, I should say, we have pear trees, apple trees, we have grape trees, we have all sorts of berries, raspberries, blueberries, and things like that in the back, herbs and so forth. We're maximizing the ability to preserve those foods, store them in jars, store them in vacuum sealed bags like this, which the Harvest Right actually does come with, the ability to preserve these things in these type of bags. And it just enables you to not have to go to the store all the time, right? Because when food is plentiful, you can harvest it right, as the name implies. So I'm a big fan of this. I'll put links below to some related videos. And in the next video, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna cook one of my go-to meals when we're out camping or hiking or hunting in the backcountry. And that is rice and meat with mushrooms and onions. So definitely doesn't disappoint. In fact, they ship it via freight. And I talked to the FedEx driver. He's in the last 2 years, he's helped unload several hundred of these, and he's saying the people just rave about how good this product is. So definitely a big fan of Harvest Right and their ability to help you preserve food via freeze drying. It seems intimidating, but once you go through the instruction manual and go through a couple cycles of this, it's super easy. You literally plug it in, turn it on, set it and forget it. It's pretty easy, friends. So Thanks for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed this content, hit that like button. Let me know how you preserve food at home, whether you use a dehydrator or a freeze dryer from Harvest Right, and I'll reply to you in the comments. Catch you later.